Well, I have a story to tell you guys today. It's about my favorite person in the entire world who happens to be dead. This is about Lord Byron. If you didn't know me, he's my favorite person ever in the face of the planet. So, I have a lot of stories about him. I wasn't there personally because, he's dead. But, I know a lot of stories about him, so, it kind of were tight if he was, living. Basically, this is a story about poor life decisions and don't be mean to people because that makes you a dick and a douchebag. Thanks, Byron. So to give you some background, this takes place in the summer of 1816, which happens to be the year that Byron, Mary Shelley, who was Mary Godwin at the time, Percy Shelley, Claire Clairmont, Mary's sister, and John William Polidori went to Lake Geneva in Switzerland. So in this summer, Byron, this is after he has left England, he self-exiled himself because there were rumors about him having an incestual affair with his sister and homosexual affairs with various men and other things. He was just like, lol, bye, I'm gone, I'm leaving England. So he hires this doctor to travel around Europe with him, and his name is John William Polidori. He's 19 years old, and he graduated med school at a really young age, which is it didn't happen. It still doesn't happen that you graduate med school at 17, but this guy, he did it. He's amazing, but he also sucks. I'll get to that. But Byron really only hires this guy because he thinks he's hot. He's this young Italian guy. Byron's, not getting on in age. He's, 26. He's, the oldest of this group, right? So this doctor, Polidori, is all yeah, personal benefits. And then Byron's like, lol, I just want to give you a blowjob. And so he hires him. If you know Byron, it's pretty reasonable. And so they go around Europe, and then they stay at Lake Geneva, and the Shelleys come and visit them, the Shelley group. And this is the summer, if you didn't know, in which Mary Godwin, later Shelley, wrote Frankenstein. Byron suggested they should all write ghost stories one stormy night, and then Mary was like, lol, okay, Frankenstein. And she was only 18 years old, which is a pretty cool fact, I think. So they're all staying here, and there's a little bit of this in the introduction of Frankenstein. She tells this story. She mentions Polidori, and she mentions they call him Poor Polidori or Polydolly, because he was the least talented out of all of them. He fancied himself as a writer, when really he was just not that good. He was decent, but since he was surrounded by people who were so much better than he was, it was just depressing how bad he was, right? Compared to all these amazing poets and stuff. Even Claire was better. She could sing, and I was cool to them because they were all we write, but we're not musically inclined. Anyway, and then Claire was, so that was cool. But Polidori was just good at medicine. He was really smart. I'm not saying he wasn't really smart because he was a brilliant man. But he was really naive and young and got taken advantage of a lot. I kind of feel bad for him, but at the same time I really don't because I like Byron. But so on to the actual story. That's the entire background and knowledge basically. Everyone hates Polidori because he's stupid and sucks and he's just not a fun person to be around. He's kind of a downer, to be honest. So Polidori kind of really likes Mary because they're both around the same age. He's only a year older than her. Everyone else is a couple years older. She's the only one who's nice to him. She's literally the only person who's pleasant to Polidori in this entire stay. So he kind of develops a little bit of a crush on her, but she's involved with Percy and probably Byron. So, she's not gonna get with Polidori. Sorry, dude. So one day, Byron and Polidori are hanging out in this little veranda thing around their villa that they're staying at. And it's just been raining, and they see Mary off in the distance, walking through the mud. Oh, say, Polidori, why don't you go help poor Mary over there walk through the mud? She looks like she could use a manly man's help, and you are a manly man after all. Oh, but Mary, and that's a girl. She's a girl, and she's scary because she's cute. Haha, I knew it, Polidori. Well, why don't you go help her, and maybe she might have sex with you or something. Polydor's like, great idea! And he walks off the edge of the balcony. Like, I mean, it's only like 10 feet off the ground, but still he like walks off the edge of the balcony. And Byron's like laughing. He's like, oh my god, I got the spiked lemonade, there's alcohol all up in here, and I am laughing so hard because Polydor just like broke his ankle. And Polydor's like crying on the ground because, you know, I mean, like, why wouldn't you like cry on the ground if you like walked off a balcony? And Mary's all like, you've got to be kidding me, Byron. Did you do something? What'd you do? What did you do, Byron? And Byron's just like, oh, I told Polly he should go help you through the mud. And first of all, Mary's pissed because first of all, she's like, Byron, why would you make someone walk off the edge of a balcony? That's so stupid and mean. What a dick move. And then second, she's mad because she's like, I don't need a man's help to walk through the mud. I mean, I have boots on. It's not like I don't know it's been raining. I know what I'm getting into. I can walk. I have legs, Byron. And Mary probably ended up like punching them both or something. And Polydor would have punched Byron if he like wasn't afraid he would break his fist on his like rock hard face. Also, if he wasn't like really meek. So yeah, that's the story of Byron and that thing that happened. I don't know if Byron and Polydor ever did end up having sex because I don't know if Polydor was like into that. I know Byron was, for sure, but I don't know if Polydor was. And, you know, that kind of makes me sad because I'm pretty sure they at least exchanged like blowjobs at some point or like hand jobs. I don't know if they ever actually like did the full thing. You know, like the full thing, the full experience. The hands-on experience, if you know what I mean. Percy, Mary, and Byron were totally all doing it together, and I'm sure Polydor probably at least watched them like once or twice, and Clara was like doing it with Byron, because then later on she was like had his kid, and like then she died in a convent. Not Claire. The kid died in a convent. Claire was mad about the kid dying in a convent, and Byron was like, lol, I had a kid. Yeah. I have a lot of Byron stories. Anyway, so that's me back from my YouTube hiatus. I posted this other video, but I mean, like, this is like my first real video. It's not an update video, so I mean, that's pretty cool. Links down below to everything. This is my end screen right now because I don't have an end screen right now because I don't have an end screen picture right now because all the pictures on the internet suck. Google Images sucks. I hate Google Images. Anyway, so I don't have an end screen. So this is my face being the end screen right now. Wow. Wow, look at my face. I put on makeup just so I can make this video. Like, seriously, look at this. Wow. Wow. Can you tell I don't do makeup ever?